rights lawyer is aspirational and sounds pretty difficult, but trust me when I tell you, it really doesn't have to be that way. By the end of this video, you too will know exactly how you can become a human rights lawyer. Do you love social justice, human rights, advocacy, and the law? Is becoming the very best version of yourself something that you would like to achieve in this life? If that sounds like you, then definitely go ahead and subscribe by hitting the subscribe button right there, and tap that notification bell button as well too, so that you never ever miss another video, which is usually give or take each and every Sunday. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lavinia Latham and I'm a Canadian human rights lawyer. Believe it or not, I spent my entire life fighting anti-Black racism through various different mechanisms. Mechanisms like social reform, test case litigation, policy review, you name it, I've pretty much used that mechanism to fight it. More recently, I've had the rare opportunity to strike down bad laws to really fight anti-Black racism from a litigation standpoint in various different courts and tribunals, including the Supreme Court of Canada, the Ontario Court of Justice, the Superior Court of Justice, and also the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal. If you're interested in this type of work and you want to learn more, definitely go ahead and check out my website, that's lavinialatham.com, for even more information about my experiences as a human rights lawyer. Number one, it's never too early to find a mentor. So, along my personal journey to becoming a lawyer, I actually wanted to be able to job shadow somebody to really learn the ins and outs of this profession from a day-to-day basis. At the very tender age of 13, I did my research. At the time, there was no internet available, so I just went through my local yellow pages to find lawyers who were practicing law and doing the kind of work that I could see myself doing once I was actually old enough to do that work. And so in doing that, I was able to kind of get a walkthrough of a law firm and to confirm what it is I knew deep down inside, which is that I wanted to become a lawyer. Now, unfortunately, at that time, there weren't a lot of lawyers who looked like me, spoke like me, approached life and had life experiences like me. And so I kind of had to piece together from television and from, the various individuals that I saw in my immediate surrounding, which it wasn't very many, who were practicing law, and to kind of keep the image alive for myself. That being said, I am so happy and so proud to be in this position right now, because hopefully if you are on the other end of this screen and you're watching this video, I could be that mentor for you through this video. Number two, it's never too early to start advocating. So fresh on the heels of being 13 and looking for, a mentor to teach me how to be a lawyer, I actually decided to, take it up in my own hands and advocate. Whenever there was an opportunity to be a part of various different clubs and groups in school, I used that opportunity to jump on in and engage with those issues. So it really is never too early to start advocating. And now with the age of the internet, I don't have to be the one to say it, but I think there's a flush opportunity to do that on an even more wider scale basis through things like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And I'm not saying anything totally profound here, because I think people are doing that anyways. So I'm here to tell you today to take advantage of those forums, take advantage of those areas to start to build your advocacy voice within. Number three, I think that you should really consider choosing a cause, a human rights issue that is really near and dear to your heart. So, in case you didn't know, I'm Black. For me, it's really near and dear to my heart from my lived experiences, as well as through seeing around me and my immediate surroundings the injustices, the marginalization, the oppression that happens to people who look and speak like me. There was always a strong burning fire to advocate on what's right and to advocate for what's just, but also having lived and experienced certain things that no one should really ever have to experience, it also kind of added fuel to that fire. The reason I share that story with you is to really encourage you to look deep down within yourself and to figure out exactly what it is that is your passion, what it is that really gets you riled up in terms of what's right and fair, what's just and what's not just, and to really start to build out your human rights advocate within yourself. And then hopefully one day, if this career path is for you, those experiences, that fire that you've been building over and over and over again, is going to fuel your journey towards becoming a human rights lawyer. Tip number 4 is that you're gonna wanna go ahead and volunteer for different organizations, NGOs, charities, any of these types of things that are really fighting the good fight. So we all know Black Lives Matters. There's various different organizations here in Toronto in Canada. I'm sure they have them across North America as well and in other jurisdictions depending on where you're watching this video from. But United Nations is a good international one if you can get your foot in. That's awesome work experience that's really going to help build the advocate within you. If you're interested in 2S LGBTQ plus issues, that's another area that there's a lot of need for advocacy. There's a lot of need for equity and justice. Now, if you're in undergrad, you're gonna wanna involve yourself in various things that are really going to build your leadership skills. So just looking back on my own personal journey, for me, that looked like being residence advisor. At Carleton University, we called it residence fellow. It also looked like taking advantage of those leadership opportunities on campus. So things like, maybe working at the residence advisory office, or perhaps doing campus tour guides, or even running for campus or university politics. These are the kinds of things that are really going to make you build the leader within you, build the voice within you, so that when you are advocating on these very difficult subjects, you're gonna be able to advocate from a place of authority. And being able to advocate from a place of authority is very important in these spaces, because the whole name of the game is almost like testing your resilience, testing your perseverance, testing your ability to keep going despite how difficult it can be. And trust me, it gets difficult. Are you enjoying this free information and this free mentorship about how to become a human rights lawyer? If you are, definitely let me know that by dropping a yes in the comment section down below. Number 6 on the list is, if you do want to become a human rights lawyer, then you're gonna have to go to law school. And going to law school is not as hard as it sounds. I mean, it certainly did sound far and beyond in the, stratosphere of space to me when I was applying for it. But now I'm here to tell you in this video that if that's something that you want to do, that's something that you can do. So I'm not actually gonna repeat the steps on how to go to law school and apply to law school here, unless that's what you want. Definitely let me know that in the comment section down below. But I do think there's a law student here on YouTube who has done a fantastic job of explaining that process. Her name is Hamna Wazam. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I will go ahead and leave a link to her video right here if going to law school in Canada is something that you're interested in. Now, I personally did not apply to any law schools outside of Ontario, Canada. I wanted to stay local because I knew that I wanted to practice law here in Canada, and so that's the reason why I decided to focus all of my applications on Canada alone. Once you do get into law school, if you are in law school, then this is another opportunity to start building those leadership skills. So preferably you want to build those leadership skills in various different groups and organizations that are connected to the work that you ultimately want to do. Immediately when I got into law school, first year of law school, I decided that I wanted to be a first-year representative of the Black Law Students Association chapter at my university, which was University of Ottawa. Now, following that, I knew that I wanted to continue to build some more leadership skills within this space, and I decided to run for president of the National Black Law Students Association Organization of Canada. Another way that you could go ahead and build really fantastic leadership skills while you're in law school is to volunteer for the legal clinic. You can also, perhaps write an article related to these issues for the law review. Maybe while you're in law school, as crazy as law school is, not taking anything away from that struggle, and believe me, it's a struggle. Maybe you wanna, start a podcast or a blog or, a YouTube channel just like this on human rights law, and really focusing and honing in on that area that you wish to kind of build your expertise and your practice and your advocacy around. Those are the kinds of things that are really going to help you establish yourself as an up-and-coming human rights lawyer. Number 7 on the list is that you're gonna wanna successfully complete your articles and also pass the bar. So here in Canada, articles is really just a fancy schmancy way of saying your internship. You're gonna need those 10 months of articling in order to be able to be called to the bar. Now, the other thing that you're gonna need, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, of course, you need to pass the bar exam, and that's kind of like a non-negotiable, and there are strategies and ways to do that successfully as well too. If that's something that you're interested in learning more about here on my channel, also let me know that in the comment section down below. Number 8, I feel like I've said this quite a few different times now, but I think it deserves a section of its own, which is to create a podcast, create some type of social media around whatever it is the cause that you want to contribute your voice to. This is very important because I do feel like in this age of 2021, social media is the new currency. So if you have a social media following, if you're putting your voice out there and lending credibility and energy and an audience to any particular cause, that gives that cause even more power to start changing hearts and changing minds. And if you don't believe me or you disagree, then Black Lives Matters. That's it. Hashtag Black Lives Matters. Number 9, if you really are looking towards figuring out how to start navigating the legal profession as a human rights lawyer, you really want to start looking for those opportunities that are going to give you that ability to practice in the human rights law space. Another great opportunity is any of those government organizations. There are law firms out there that practice only within the areas of human rights law. There are tons of opportunities. In addition to that, I think it's also very important to put yourself out there in terms of networking, put yourself out there in terms of different groups and organizations. A bonus tip on that, if you're still unsure of like what type of area of human rights law you want to be a part of, I would actually encourage you to check out the Ontario Human Rights Code and to look at the enumerated protected grounds, which is just off the top of my head, like race, creed, sex, origin, sexual orientation, religious beliefs, those types of things. And start to think about, which is the one that's really starting to hone in for you. Which one are you really feeling a pull, so to speak, towards? And number 10, I kind of got ahead of myself, but I do believe it's very important to network and to know exactly who are the major players within that human rights law space. So every jurisdiction, which is just another legal fancy word for like area, geographical area, within the current confinements and parameters of the law. But every jurisdiction is going to have its different major players, its different people who you probably want to get to know if you are in that space. And so I would definitely encourage you to reach out to those individuals for opportunities, for mentorship, or even just for conversation, because oftentimes it's very, very helpful to just bounce information back and forth to start to develop that legal critic, that legal analysis within your brain that's really gonna help you become the best possible human rights lawyer that you could possibly be. Do you wanna stay connected for even more free legal information and free mentorship advice? If that sounds like you, then definitely go ahead and send me an email at lavinia@lavinialatham.com. Did you enjoy this video? If you liked these 10 steps on how to become a human rights lawyer, then go ahead and let me know by hitting up that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Also hit up the notification bell and share this video with an ambitious friend so that we can get this free legal information and free mentorship advice out to as many people as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video on Sunday. Bye!